Hey Maggie, stay there. Stay there. Hey my legion, how y'all doing today? Welcome to another edition of Maggie and me at the movies. And tonight, wow, late night. It's 2:47 in the morning, Friday night. Well, Friday night, Saturday morning, you know. And I got a Herschell Gordon Lewis double feature for you. And what happened was, I found out whenever my friend Finesse Bonnell Nut, one of the first guys that I became friend with on YouTube and stuff. He did a thing called Suburban Commando, and then he knew that I liked Herschell Gordon Lewis movies after that. And he was telling me that there was a channel called Horror Shock that had a whole bunch of Herschell Gordon Lewis stuff. I said, cool, thanks, man. I started watching it, and then my dad passed away, and I couldn't get into him. Anyway, I tried watching Miss Nymphet's Sap. I watched the rest of How to Make a Doll, which is the movie I saw some of the night before he passed. I watched the rest of it after, just to finish it up. There was like another 10 minutes of it or something like that. And then I tried watching Miss Nymphet's Sap and some other one, and I couldn't get into it. You know, I was too, it's, you know, and it, because of my dad, you know. And apparently he was told that he had to take those videos down. So I was like, oh crap, I wasn't able to see his movies. But I mean, you know, my dad passed away and I just wasn't in the mood to watch them. Well, anyways, he started uploading again. And I saw two of the rarer Herschell Gordon Lewis movies today. The Ecstasies of Women and Stick It in Your Ear. Now, the Ecstasies of Women, well, Stick It in Your Ear is not a traditional Herschell Gordon Lewis movie, but I'll get to that second. The Ecstasies of Women is pretty much a standard-looking Herschell Gordon Lewis movie, and usually it's pretty much set on it was shot on two sets. One was in the strip club, and then one was on the guy's boat, or what looked like his boat. And it starts off with these four guys at the strip club, and there's lots of nudity in this with topless girls. And the one guy, Harry, is going to have he's going to get married in the morning, and then his three buddies take him out drinking and seeing and talking to girls during his bachelor party. Well, anyways, they're talking about that, and he said that, you know, he works at a lingerie place, and he says, your wife's not going to let you work at a lingerie place after you get married. You probably won't be able to do that no more. And he said, well, he was like, well, she'll come around. And he had a boat, too. Well, anyways, he'd be drinking, and all of a sudden the thing would fade, and then it'd go to like a memory of him with a woman. And basically they show him hitting on the woman, and then him making out with her. And there's lots of nudity in the movie, and fooling around. And pretty much that's the whole thing. You know, he'd come back out, and then they talk some more. And you know, he'd come out. He'd have like these. He had like 4 or 5 flashbacks where he'd meet a woman and then go out, and then there was a problem with the movie. If you know Herschell Gordon Lewis, sometimes they don't take. I think he used the fact that they were getting drunk as a reason not to retake some scenes where they screw up the dialogue. Because there's a scene 27 minutes into the movie where the one guy says guy's name is Frank instead of Harry, and he had to correct himself. And he said, "Hey, that's Frank. I'm Frank. That's Harry right there." And they had to fight to keep from cracking up. Well, that one guy was cracking up some. I think the fact that I was just a guess that they were drunk gave way for Herschell Gordon Lewis just to keep that in the movie. You know, the movie's pretty entertaining. I mean, decent nudity and stuff. I'm glad I saw it before someone flagged it on YouTube. You know, because I waited. Someone uploaded the third "I Spit on Your Grave" movie, and I was going to watch it, but I put it aside because I had to work. I looked up now, and I guess the person had to take it down. It's not on there no more. Oh, sadly, that's not there. Or I would have seen that, which sucked, but oh well. And Ecstasies of Women is pretty good. The title is a lie because it's not really the Ecstasies of Women. It's the Ecstasies of that one guy. But I don't think they'd call it the Ecstasy of Men. I don't think guys would want to see it because they get the wrong idea. It wasn't really about women. It was about the guys pleasing themselves with the women. But it was a pretty entertaining movie for what it was. I'd probably give it a 7.5 out of 10 for the Ecstasies of Women. Now the next movie is one that, if you ever read the Herschell Gordon Lewis books, they only mention this for like two sentences pretty much. Because they talk about, one of his movies that they always talk about is Monster A Go-Go, the Bill Rebane movie. And basically he purchased this from the guy, and then he just distributed it himself. He might add a couple scenes and distribute himself. They always mention that, and then in a small 2 or 3 sentences they'll say, he also did the same thing in 1970 with a movie called The Vortex, which he bought, and then he distributed it, and he changed the title to Stick It In Your Ear, which is indicative of his rather square sense of humor, because he thinks Stick in Your Ear is a funny title. And basically, this was supposed to be a psychedelic movie. I was like, oh God, if it was anything like that other psychedelic movie I saw from Something Strange Video, Psyched by the 4D Witch. Oh, I was in trouble. Psyched by the 4D Witch absolutely sucks. It's unwatchable, even though I watched it. My dad watched it too, but it was awful. They just kept repeating stuff over and over again. Like, oh God, when is this going to be over? It sucked. And that was a double feature with Monster A Go-Go. What they should have done was have a double feature Monster A Go-Go and Stick It In Your Ear, because they're both similar Herschell Gordon Lewis projects. He bought it from another director, and then he distributed it himself. Well, anyways, it starts out, and this guy said he doesn't know who he is. He's probably high on drugs, and basically he fools around with women, and he goes walking around. The one line I liked, he went in this guy, and the guy said, he said like cigarettes, weed, grass. Said no thank you. He said, you want some dirty pictures? And he said, no thanks, I'm already in one. Meaning that movie. That was a very clever line. But it's very low budget. Shot in black and white. Even for it was 1970 or released in 1970. It might have been made a few years before that. And it's pretty much, the movie has, it looks like it was filmed silently kind of, and then they added the dialogue in post. And there's also clips from popular pop culture things like you hear Plastic, My Boy Plastic. And basically he goes from girl to girl kind of making out, and then, they have a scene in this college campus, and this girl is riding a bike with a cat on her shoulders, and the cat looks just like Maggie. Same face, same everything. That was pretty weird. Well, I wasn't weird, it was cool. Right, Maggie? Yeah. And what else happened? Basically, it's real weird for like the first half hour, 45 minutes. It, like I said, it tries to be the psychedelic thing, and then actually it starts to have a plot. It starts to get going, where he becomes like a hitman. Because he was in Vietnam. Well, they started talking about Vietnam, and then, it started getting more interesting, and then he became like a mercenary. And then at the very end, they have scenes of him in Vietnam or something like that, which made absolutely no sense whatsoever. Because it was like, for one thing, then just the ending was really bad. I might make this movie sound more interesting than it really was. It's okay. Because of the weird end, I was going to go ahead and give it a 5.5, but because of how weird and disjointed that ending was, I'm probably just going to give it a 5. For Stick It In Your Ear. And then they had a bunch of old black and white violent sex things, kind of like Stick in the Ear, that I never heard of before. The movies like She Came on the Bus and Meeting at 69th Street or International Sex Club or something. I never heard of any of those movies. I thought it was pretty good, obscure movies. Huh, Maggie? You're a good kitty. Well, I hope you like this for this this review of this Herschell Gordon Lewis double feature. I'm going to keep an eye on the Horror Shock channel, see if he uploads any other his movies I haven't seen. Because he uploaded like the Prime Time, I have that. He uploaded Wizard of Gore, I have that. I mean, just ones I haven't seen. There was a whole bunch of ones he had before, but like I said, with my dad passing away, I just wasn't in the mood to see him. And then I go back and See, and then they said he was forced to take them off. He said like they said we know you have the whole library of Herschell Gordon Lewis films or something like that, and you have like 48 hours to take them down or report you, some crap like that. Oh well. But I mean, the movies are pretty decent. Even one of his more obscure films, especially Sticking in Your Ear, because no one talks about that movie. I mean, it gets in that book of Herschell Gordon Lewis movie, it gets like 2 sentences or 3 sentences. You know, isn't that crazy, Maggie? Yeah. So, until next time, bye. Please take care, my legion, from me and Maggie, or should I say Maggie and I. Take care, everyone. Hey, Maggie. Get my blankie.